Hi everybody, Zach here for another episode of our flagship program, the Spideydude Experience. This episode is brought to you by our loyal patrons over at patreon.com/Spideydude Network. Pledge today and get both early access to content on the main channel, as well as entirely exclusive content, like brand new shows and commentaries for old Spidey stuff, including commentaries for the MTV series, for example, as well as the video editions for Voices from the Eyrie Gargoyles Podcast. And our Patreon first show focused on the Krakoan era of X-Men. We also want to encourage you to check out our other programs that are all available on Audio Edition. These are all over on Spideydude.com, and they're available on your favorite podcasting app. Shows like Clone Saga Chronicles, the show that started this entire network, Spectacular Radio, Spectacular Sal Buscema era podcast, Amazing Spider-Man Classics, the Slot Symposium, and the sister program on this channel, Make Mine Mayday. As always, be sure to hit the like button. It really does help us big time in the algorithm. And additionally, if you have topics you'd like to cover on a live show or in a recorded medium, make sure to leave a comment down below the description or shoot us an email at SpideydudeRadioNetwork@gmail.com. Finally, make sure to join our community. Be alerted to all new updates by hitting that subscribe button and clicking on the bell. But to be clear, your viewership is more than enough for us. And if you want to hang out with us off YouTube, you can always go to our Discord, where we have all sorts of fun stuff, or you can join us on our social medias and follow us there. All the links are down in the description below. As always, we want to be making some references to visual aids and or live comments. If you're an audio listener, pay that no mind, but leave that 5-star review for us. Any and all feedback we will read on future episodes. Thank you, and without further ado, let's get rolling with this episode of the Spideydude Experience.
Well, we tried.
Variants.
Okay.
Welcome, everybody.
All right, Zach, you ready to see a married man risk it all?
Listen. I'm in as a former married man myself.
What?
All right, let's introduce the panel. We got Neil.
I didn't think you'd actually take the bait this time. I'm sorry, guys.
Well, you know. We got Ultimate Josh.
He always takes the bait. Come on.
Okay.
Hey. We have Ultimate Adam.
Hi.
Ultimate Ashley will be on in just a little bit. She's running a little behind, but we are starting our show. And so before we get too far into the episode, we're going to be talking tonight about Ultimate Spider-Man number 11 that came out today. So if you have not read the book, pause this video and go find it on Kindle/Comixology, or run to your comic shop and go grab the latest issue.
Or don't. You can learn firsthand about this book through us and get a big haha out of it.
Yeah, we're going to have some fun with it. We do have an Ultimate related announcement that occurred. I think it was yesterday. Marvel started talking about Free Comic Book Day, even though it's not until May of 2025. But
still like 6 months away. It's,
yeah. So there will be an Amazing Spider-Man / Ultimate Universe Free Comic Book Day issue with a cover by Patrick Gleason. Which
not surprising that that's how they did it last year.
Yeah. So basically, copy paste from last year to this year.
I think the difference is that Cody Ziegler is helping Denny's Camp with the story.
Yep. So from the article, Joe Kelly and John Romita Jr. remind us who Peter Parker and Spider-Man are, plus an exclusive prologue to this summer's blockbuster Ultimate event from Din's Camp, Cody Ziegler and Jonas Scarf.
Yay.
So that is...
I can't wait for more Joe Kelly.
I guess we are going to be in season 5, aka the Kelly File.
Thanks.
Yay.
New graphics. Yay.
Fuck.
Damn.
That should be the title for this episode. Fuck.
No.
We'll make that go short. No, luckily we're 5 minutes in. I hope the YouTube gremlins don't kill us. Or excuse me.
They'll kill you anyways. They'll find a way.
I was going to say, excuse me, unalive us because
They're not gonna. Okay. Anyways, that's all you got. That's all you get for announcements. Hey,
Yeah.
Radiac, how's it going?
Radiac. Walter's not in the chat.
Whoa.
He's too busy ordering you your next costume. Yeah, that's right. I watched the backlogs.
You make it sound like they're classified. Zach redacts it so he doesn't have to open the costume.
Zach in a costume? That should be classified.
It's just a PNG of Zach on top of the video file, and it's just like you just hear him, and like any mention of the costume is like bleeped out.
It's like redacted,
Yeah.
Big old.
Tonight's Spideydude Experience is brought to you by the letters F, U, C, and K. Not related. Oh shit! I forgot. We I guess this is kind of an announcement, but it's mainly for 616. Spider-Man versus the Predator, in which Peter should job out instantly to the Predator, but will not because the plot demands it.
Yeah.
Sorry, what's happening?
Spider-Man has a crossover with the Predator.
Oh, great.
His name is Paul.
That's a different kind of predator.
You over-explained the joke.
I was doing Chester from Family Guy.
Yeah, you over-explained the joke still.
Oh, well,
Like, I get that's Family Guy's whole thing is over-explaining the joke, which makes it funny again. But,
Right. I was just being on brand.
yeah, it didn't work here because we're not Family Guy. Sorry, Zach. I'm sorry, Zach, but we're not Seth MacFarlane. And this is not a show that rakes in 20 million followers a year.
By the way, I watched The Orville, and I quite enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think, unfortunately, MacFarlane had to make that first season funnier than he wanted it to be because everyone at what's the studio that was it NBC who originally made it?
Fox.
I think the guys at Fox were like, oh, he's our haha funny man, so we'll only greenlight the show if he puts some haha funny stuff in there when he just wants to make Star Trek The Next Generation again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really liked A Million Ways to Die in the Wild West.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and I guess, well, it wasn't really an announcement. Some of this stuff has already been out for a while, but they announced Ultimate number 14, which is unique, and it looks like it's a two-parter from Peter for the Craven stuff. I don't know why now on the Craven's Last Hunt homage they choose now of all times to stretch things out, but
Well, I mean, yeah.
Ultimates looks really cool though. Prison Industrial Complex commentary, sign me up, baby.
I still have not gotten around to reading that.
So, yeah, I mean, no Marvel Legends announcements other than if you want to order another Captain America shield, it is going to be going up pre-order tomorrow.
Wait, didn't they announce oh wait, this might have been already mentioned, but some leaks for these are leaks. Never mind. That's not definitive. They did a new Mafex Venom and Carnage are up for pre-order for reissues.
Yeah, which I'm not surprised. Also, CT Toys is trying to make a Scarlet Spider, but I think they're getting hit with a cease and desist.
I think Marvel Legends also announced a new 2099 figure, but it looks awful. Like, it looks like Comics Miguel, not Movie Miguel.
Oh.
Which one?
It was like a Marvel Legends for Across the Spider-Verse.
Oh, yeah. That's been out for a while.
Oh, it has? Okay.
Yeah, we
Listen, man, you're the guy who keeps me up to date with Marvel Legends because I choose not to.
I do have money.
Yeah.
Yeah, no updates yet. though we are due for a monthly stream, so
Oh, I thought you meant we were. I was like, oh shit.
no, like usually Hasbro Pulse. Some people are actually getting the Secret Wars wave, which is not supposed to come out till December, or excuse me, January. They're getting notifications that it's starting to ship. So there have been some Target stores that have had it, but at least not in Houston. I haven't seen any. So
Okay.
so yeah.
Yeah,
All
well,
right.
Let's get to the main. Let's get to the beef. Let's get to the meat.
Let me double check and see where Ash is.
Let's get to Arby's. Well, actually, no. Arby's is shit. Josh, you got a good meat place?
Does Canada have the meats?
Oh, we have Carnival. It's this Brazilian barbecue meat buffet.
Oh, that sounds fucking awesome. Let's go there.
It's great. You have to pay like a stupid amount of money to go because it's a meat buffet. But like, yeah, you get these guys. I actually used to work there. These guys walk around, and I was
like the sticks of meat,
Yeah,
and then they cut it
sort
off
of
and
meat,
put pizza.
and then, like,
Yeah.
stupid sharp knife and just like cut off slabs of meat for it, and you just go like, oh, I want a spicy chorizo sausage, or I want bacon wrapped top sirloin steak.
Yeah, we had a place like that in where up where I live, and it was expensive. Like my dad took me there for my birthday once, and it was great. Hey, look, it's Ashley. Hi, Ashley.
Hey!
Literally escaped the fire to be here,
She went through fire and brimstone to get here.
It did.
and we salute you for it.
Yes. It's a bad day. But I'm
No,
here.
super Earth salute.
Yes, the girl made it. Anyway,
What I missed, catch
A
me up.
girl in our podcast.
I know.
What was that? Okay, took it too far again. You didn't miss much. We talked about Free Comic Book Day. Unfortunately, Joe Kelly looks like he's staying on ASM after 8 deaths.
Yay! No.
What else did we talk about?
New graphics.
I forgot. Oh yeah.
I said, hey, new graphics, season 5, and he's like, fuck.
I've actually got some stuff in the pipeline already for that, so it's not like we're going
Good.
empty-handed.
Yeah, Vinkman brought it up, says tonight's Spideydude Experience is brought to you by the letters F, U, C, and K. All right.
I also concur with that 100%.
Josh knows his Canadian meats.
Hey, another fellow Canadian. Awesome.
I'll make my way up there one day.
Anytime I see something Canada related, I end up texting Josh. Even if
Yeah, every time you're like, oh, is this real in Winnipeg? Maybe. I don't know. Is it murder or Slurpees? Yes.
Hang on. I don't do that. It's just usually like, were you guys responsible for half the stuff at the Geneva Convention? The answer is yes.
Yeah. Yeah, that was us.
Well, listen, the Canadians made the Geneva Conventions. We just choose to ignore it. We wrote down everything they did wrong, and then they said, okay, let's do it again, but worse and somewhere else.
Let's do it again, but this time with stars and stripes.
All right. So let's do the recap, Neil, of issue number 11.
All right, breaking news. Local married man about to risk it all. Ultimate Spider-Man number 11, written by Jonathan Hickman, art by David Messina, colors by Matt Wilson, and letters by, is it Joe Caramagna?
Caramanga, yeah.
Caramagna, yeah. Wait, is it? Hang on, where's letters? No, it's Corey Petit. We're wrong.
Oh, Corey. Hi, Corey.
They
Sorry,
threw us off. Sorry, Corey. Anyways, it's November, and Peter's sitting on a rooftop. He's like, "Hey, Harry, I know that your obvious absence is here to show how things are going wrong, but call me back." He calls Otto, says, "Hey, buddy, you seen Harry? Where's his suit?" And Otto's like, "I don't know. I don't care." "Hey, Spider-Man, I've got some ideas." And then Peter says, "Hey, bye. I gotta go fight crime." Turns out that the inner demons are robbing the city. Citibank. And in a very classic moment, Peter says, "Hang on, guys. We can all walk away from this. We can go nice and easy, or this can go the hard way. And one of the ladies is like, why don't you shut up? You're going to get us killed. And Peter's like, okay, you can have her, but everyone else has to go free. Once again, Peter Parker is back to insulting just for the game of it. The demons try and fight Peter, but he's too fast, and he's avoiding their Star Wars copyright lightsabers. Brought to you by Hasbro. One of the demons takes the lady who yelled at him as hostage, and Peter's like, well, I offered her to you anyways, but you're forcing my hand on this, so web to the head. And he webs her mouth shut just to keep his ends covered. And in a very obviously traced from Spider-Man 2 panel, Peter is alerted to Mr. Negative coming in, and he goes, hey, that's a really great reference to Paul from Amazing Spider-Man, but unfortunately, I'm written by a very professional writer, not a petty asshole. So back to the Man Bun Brigade with you. And Mr. Negative's like, well, you're an asshole. You broke my friend Walter. I'm not going to forgive that. Peter,
Not to be confused with our friend Walter.
I
oh
didn't
yeah,
see him, by the way.
yeah, he's not here for some reason. That's disappointing. What are we if not bullied by Walter for showing up on time for once?
For an hour straight.
I was gonna say on task, but that's definitely not true.
Okay, you're asking too much, Josh. What show do you think we're on? Anyways, Mr. Negative corrupts the civilians that were being held hostage. They tear Peter apart, and once again, homaging Spider-Man 2 in the Jesus carry scene. And Peter manages to get away, and he rolls into his apartment. I guess he just literally rolls like a ball into his apartment, and his wife is there. And in a scene that probably should have been in the 6th issue, but it's only in the 11th issue, MJ is like, listen, bud, I was pretty chill about this whole fighting the capos thing, but you're coming home beating the crap out of, and like your costume is torn up. Go back to wearing the ball. But Peter kind of says, like, you know, I kind of have to do this, but don't worry. If I ever come home and tell you it's time to run, be ready to run, but don't worry about it for now. But and then MJ goes, hey, you want to have sex? And Peter says, no, I have to go meet my uncle. Not for that though. Anyways, back at the Kingpin's penthouse, he's like, holy shit, you had him, and then you let him go, you fucking moron. And Mr. Negative just says, no, I couldn't I can use my powers on him. He kind of had a better willpower than everyone in this room put together. And Craven's talking about how they've been reduced in number, and Black Cat's like, fuck you, no, I haven't lost my spot. I'm in a wheelchair now, and I have a tube in my nose, but here's my daughter. She'll be the new Black Cat, even though she looks very visibly uncomfortable doing this. Oh God, don't let Venkman show up on chat. And Kingpin is like, listen, you guys are ruling at my discretion. Everything changes. My kingdom isn't rebellion. We're gonna fix this shit now. Which is funny because he also didn't manage to get them, but I guess it doesn't count when he does it. At the Memorial Park, which is where all the victims of 7/11 are memorialized, Uncle Ben is reading the repeated names on the text, and Harry comes up with flowers and they talk about how Aunt May would be proud of what they're doing, and how they're kind of moving on without her, which I thought was a very good and sincere scene. And Uncle Ben kind of implies she would be proud about what you're doing too, Peter, but not your photos. In a very Robbie Robertson-esque scene, Uncle Ben kind of, I don't want to say implies because it's almost explicit.
It's blatant. He's just not saying it out loud, but he is saying it out loud
because they live in the surveillance state, and it's smarter not to say it. But he says you need to keep your trap shut on this. you need to try harder and keep the secret better because too many people know already.
Yeah.
And then Uncle Ben has Peter. Also, Harry kind of apologizes via text for standing Peter up and says he'll pick him up, and he gets a text that Harry's in a car. And Uncle Ben very much implies that he's lived a good long life and he's at the age now where he has nothing left to lose, and he's fine with whatever happens next. And he asks Peter if
he's a goner,
if he can say this, if he can say the same thing. And as
Better
Peter
not,
walks,
Adam.
and as Peter walks, and as Peter walks towards the sponsor of this video, Hummer EV, blatantly drawn onto the page, Peter says no to Uncle Ben's question, and Uncle Ben, as Peter walks away, says, "Keep that in mind."
Mm.
You better take that back, Adam.
What's 26?
never. It's happening.
That she looks 26.
So,
Yeah.
Thank you, Greg. Also, we said Walter's name too many times, and he's like Beetlejuice, and he is here.
Here's
I am not wearing the cosplay every time the Cowboys lose, especially this season, because I would be wearing
because
it.
you're doing so bad.
You might as well just wear that indefinitely, and we'll like glue that to your noodle and daily.
I'm good. It's in the closet.
that's not the only thing. Anyways,
Oh,
Come on out, Zach.
listen, I am painfully straight. Okay. Did you just fart?
no, I was doing that thing where like you saying like, "Oh, I'm the straightest man alive." That's the equivalent of like coughing to cover up a fart and missing the timing.
Also, nice cover bait. Thank you, Marvel and Specs for Truth Spirits cover.
Yep.
Yep.
Thank you, Marco Shadow and/or Carrie Andrews.
Let's not talk about Spider-Man Reign 2 because that thing is prison ass.
Yeah, Josh and I spent like the half hour we were in here before the show started talking about like how weird it is, and then my internet cut out for like 5 minutes and I panicked.
Yeah.
So let's go through grades. Everyone's kind of dumped theirs in the chat so far.
Ashley, what is your grade?
Is Uncle Ben in it? Don't you dare put a B down.
Sorry, I was trying to change it.
Then, yep, there you go. Actually, it's just an A because Jonah's not in it with him. So,
Okay. Adam, your grade?
Strong A.
Oh, excuse me. Let me
can you put the like muscle emoji?
Emoji
with
beside
that?
the way.
Yeah.
God's strongest ASM or no, God's strongest Ultimate Spider-Man supporter.
I don't think it'll let me.
You'll find a way, Zach. I believe in you.
Strong A. Let's see. Where? Oh, yeah, there's Josh. And then finally, Josh, what is your grade?
A plus to the power of 13.
Neil, your grade?
A plus.
And my grade is going to be also an A plus. So we have strong A, we have an A not plus because there's no Jonah, and then A plus is the rest of the way. So why is it? Oh
No.
God.
No.
Let's go find it.
No.
Okay, Zach, I'm gonna level with you here. Read the transcript before you put it
Oh,
on the air, and then if it's fucking Joker nonsense, don't play it.
Here, I'm putting the transcript in our chat.
I'm not reading. Oh my god.
Why is my name on there?
I'm scared.
because of what we talked about last week after the show.
Oh no.
So the challenge has been accepted, apparently.
What was the challenge? I forgot.
That you're going to get to cosplay next month.
Who, Neil?
Yeah.
God.
He's the chosen one.
Yeah.
Let's finally get Neil the Spider-Man Bodega Cat cosplay.
Oh hell yeah! The one that was promised to me by Kelly back in like 2022.
Yeah.
My grade is fine.
It's because
All right.
Uncle Ben was in there, so that's
Five
why.
hogs.
Oh boy.
All right, let's talk about the book.
All right, so let's get into the actual review element.
So I gotta say, I'm very impressed by, and Josh and I kind of talked about this via text before the show, before we even came on to the group into the session. I'm honestly very impressed with how many moving parts Hickman managed to get the gears going on this issue. Surprising amount of action. He touched on almost every single ongoing plot point. Very good character work. Honestly, on a narrative level, this is probably ASM, or I keep saying ASM, Ultimate Spider-Man's best issue.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Who's the artist on this again?
David Messina. He's been the consistent fill-in guy, and we during the last episode we did, I accidentally discovered that I have the trade paperback for Star Trek Countdown from like it's like the comic prequel to the Abrams movie from 2009. Okay. So he's been in the industry for a while. I didn't know that.
He's really good at drawing panels that I don't know how to describe it. You know when like Marvel does like 75th anniversary and they show the old comic panels and then they like move them?
Yeah.
He's got really nice panels that like you can see the action coming through with it. Like the one where Spider-Man like flips upside down webs at the same time. Like that one's such a nice panel.
I gotta say, I appreciate him not leaning so hard into the Insomniac Spider-Man photo mode for references.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it's been pretty obvious when, like, on the cover for Ultimate number 4, where it was obviously like referencing the photo mode from the first game.
Oh yeah.
I just think it's interesting that, like, usually he's been the guy who's been doing a lot of the people standing around talking for 22 pages artists. And I think it's good that, like, he's getting to kind of flex himself on more dynamic page composition and posing.
Definitely.
Also, classic Spidey humor with the bank lady, where she's like, "Shut up! You're gonna get us all killed." And he's like, "Okay, fine, you can have her, but everyone else has to go." Radiac even points it out. That being said, there are like 3 panels referencing the Raimi 1 and 2 movies. Let's call it an homage. There's one panel like right after he webbed up the demon and the hostage. Yeah. That's like ripped straight from Spider-Man 2.
It's funny. I thought it was from 2, but I thought it was from like a promo thing. But now that you say it, I'm like, oh yeah, it's that one scene when he was on the train and he looks back. I thought it looked familiar. I was like, that's anyway.
So I actually didn't know that Dave Messina did a lot of IDW Star Trek books. So I think he did the Countdown mini that led into Abrams, the Nero miniseries, and the Countdown into Darkness, the one before Benedict Cabbage Patch, the movie. So he probably got a much more extensive profile than I was thinking of, but that's just the one I know of that I kind of accidentally stumbled into. Oh shit, I've actually had that. I've actually known about this artist for 8 years. I just didn't know.
Yeah.
Or how long has it been since 2009? 15 years. Jesus Christ. 15 years. Old. Now I know how Zach feels.
I'm older. Oh no.
What did Greg say? 26?
Yeah, but you look 26. I look 45. It's fine.
What jail joke? I might have not caught. I might have caught it.
I had to look back, and I get it. It's classic. It's classic. Bonesaw.
Oh yeah, I get it. Okay, I didn't recognize the joke, but it's like once I went back and was like, oh, people are gonna love you in jail. Like I said, Hickman really gets that classic Spidey humor. It's not easy to do.
That classic
but...
homophobic Spidey humor that we all love.
I mean, to be fair, yeah.
Yeah.
What was that one issue of Straczynski where Peter runs into the cross-dresser and he's like, "Cool, bye." I guess. What are you?
No. No, Zach, no.
I wish we'd seen Peter have to get away from the negative. What do we call them? The negative civilians.
Demons.
Yeah.
Are they demons? Because I wasn't.
The civilians.
They're just. Turn that off.
Sorry.
Jesus, why does it make it sound like you're summoning a demon?
I was trying to splice everything together.
But I kind of wish, and this is more of a pet peeve of like comics Twitter not really reading into the whole scene. I wish people would read more into the scene between Peter and MJ after Peter escaped, like other than like them being freaks again, which I fully endorse and welcome back into the Spider-Man mythos.
It's fun, yeah.
But like this scratched a very specific itch I've had since issue 6, that like MJ wasn't like raising enough questions. Like I'm not even asking for to like raise hell, just like, you know, kind of like acknowledge, hey, my husband,
an adult conversation, you know.
Yeah.
Hey, my husband's going to fight the Crips every weekend. I kind of want to make sure he's okay and that he knows what he's doing.
That panel where she's like, "What? When was the last time you got into a fight?" He's like, "8th grade, The Flash." How'd that go? He beat the crap out of me. It was terrifying. That got a big laugh out of me.
Well, and adding on to that, like the idea that like Peter is the only person who can stop people like this because Harry was a no-show. So he was going in by himself, and he's the only one who can stop them, and he doesn't really know any other method other than just restraining himself. And I do like that this issue made me think about like what the hell happened to Flash in this universe. Like a while back, I joked like, "Oh, Flash is either drunk or dead." But given how Hickman likes to do very twisty or to take like classic elements of Spider-Man's lore and twist them, my personal headcanon is that Flash is still like a combat operator, but he's doing it for like a private military company for like the North American Union or something rather than the US Army. Like he's more of a swashbuckling mercenary than an honorable soldier, because I think that's an interesting twist on like Flash's army service. Because he doesn't have Spider-Man as a role model to help him kind of like not necessarily turn his life around, but to make him a better person. So I can see like him taking a similar path to his 616 version, but with less morally upstanding, regardless of your opinion of like the military and fighting wars. There is more honor in fighting for a nation and a people than fighting for a corporation who make money off of destabilizing. Off that soapbox, but I just think it's interesting to like think about where Flash is and how Spidey not being in his life changed him.
You know, either that or he's an alcoholic and washed up football star.
Well, that was a joke I made earlier, back like way back in the first issue. I think was like when that question was asked, like, "Oh, he's either drunk or dead."
Yeah, it's a very oh man, what's that Christmas movie where he shows him if his life was like
It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry, Zach, I know you were around for the filming of that. Yes, it's a wonderful thing there, because you kind of realize like, yeah, over the 60 years, the different characters in, you know, Spider-Man's cast of characters there, he has had such an influence on where would they have actually ended up now.
It's like that episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation. I think Zach was there. He was Captain Picard.
Engage.
Also, okay, Peter's wearing Otto's Spider-Man made suit, right? No,
yes, he's wearing the Kevlar spandex composite.
So do you think he'll go back to his own now because it's getting ripped up?
No, he'll probably He'll probably just have Otto make him another one.
I think
I
that
want to
like
know what Otto had to say because he was trying to say something, got cut off. So would have liked to see that finish, and I'm sure they'll bring that up in the following. But
this is the start of Otto's villain arc.
Yeah.
well, I mean,
I'm
I felt
fucking
like
sick
he
of
was
this
going
Spider-Man
that
guy.
way. Yeah, I felt like he
Can't
was
call
going
him
that
that.
way. He was like, I just want to wear this suit. I think it's awesome. Like, why don't you think this is so cool? It has all these fun things on it. So I feel
Has a
like he's just
rocket
gonna
launcher.
Go put it on. Yeah, I feel like he's just gonna put it on and do whatever he feels like in it. I don't know, maybe he's doing that like Silence of the Lambs, like dancing around in his room.
Oh, he's
with
doing
it
the
on.
Morbius. Have sex. Have sex.
Maybe. I feel like that's what he's doing while they're out doing other stuff, but I would like to know what the F Harry is doing right now.
Put the lotion in the bucket. Damn, I just completely ruined it. Okay, I'm going to see this.
Is that a C4 you got
Hi,
there,
Zach.
Ashley?
Huh?
Is that a C4?
No.
Oh, is
It's
it like
a
the
G
Starburst
Fuel.
one?
No, it's a Chucky one.
Oh, okay. I don't know why I thought that was C4.
I don't like C4. I only drink G Fuel. That's the only one.
I had a NOS. I got addicted to NOS while I was working at Sherwin in Austin. That shit was like, it was like drinking nitroglycerin while lighting a dozen cigarettes in my mouth.
As somebody,
It's so oddly specific.
dude, I had to stop drinking Red Bulls because I started drinking the big tall ones, because like I started vibrating, and I felt like I was gonna go into a different dimension, all of the Flash, and so I had to stop. So I don't do any energy drinks anymore. The most I do is Coke.
Okay.
Please, for everyone that's
snort it
just
or sip
listening to
it?
the audio of this,
It's the legal. It's the legal version. It's the legal version.
Jesus.
Well, the type you drink, not the type you. Anyway,
Go all night. All right.
go all night, and the next day, and probably the next night.
You know who didn't get to go all night? MJ. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, I like I said, I appreciate that Hickman has brought back these people being absolute freaks.
Oh yeah, they're just horn dogs for each other.
I love it.
Dude, yes, like
and Peter's like, oh, I can't have sex right now. I have to meet my uncle. Damn it!
in my
It's like I got that thing, and then he gave her blue balls, and she was sad. But
Well, no, and she, but then she was like rain check, and Peter's like, oh yeah, rain check.
Yeah,
Like he looks back at her with
the way
like
he looks back over his shoulder there.
it's like, oh yeah, I'm definitely getting laid tonight.
even though that suit is tore up, it's still skin tight as hell, and she's like,
Well, I think it's really fun. I think it's really funny that MJ's like, hey, on the eve of your aunt's death, you want to have sex?
I'll make
Because-
you feel better.
I'll be your pit stop after 7-Eleven.
Oh no!
Oh boy.
Oh no!
I got questions.
I don't. Leave it alone, Zach. Don't ask them. Keep them
Also-
inside. Sometimes the thoughts need to just stay inside the brain. That's all.
Also, Adam, you brought up Uncle Ben being a goner. I think you're right. I think this is a
Stop
man who's.
it, both of you. No.
I think this is a man.
Merry
I think
Christmas, Uncle Ben dies.
Although,
Well, he's already got a huge target on his back. It's only a matter of time.
Well,
Yeah.
what do you expect by naming yourself Ben Riley as your pseudonym? What did you expect was going to happen?
I also think I have a feeling Gwen might be the one that
Kills him?
Might be secret cahoots with Kingpin, and is the
I
one that's
said that
close.
before.
Well, I was very wrong, and I'm disappointed that I was wrong in my little essay from April that Gwen and Harry were the ones making the villains to toss them into the system to throw wrenches in the system.
Mm.
But I might not be as wrong as I thought I was that Gwen might be behind the scenes, like in cahoots with not necessarily in cahoots, but like on her own, doing her own agenda.
I said that before.
I'm very interested. Like things I am looking forward to for next issue. I'm like interested to see like Mary Jane's mom and like Aunt Anna showing up.
I thought it was really funny that like on Twitter, a bunch of my mutuals were like, okay, but why did they make MJ's mom hot? I mean, MJ had to get her looks from somewhere, but you know. Walter.
You know what I'm looking forward to? Ben being alive next issue. Okay, stop saying that.
Next issue, sure, but like in a
few
months, like
she's looking forward to the next the next oversized hardcover, him being alive.
I know. I was already like, so reading this, that last page when he was talking, it made me tear up because I also felt eventually he's going to be gone, but I am in super denial. So.
Very strong way to end the book, though. I really liked like Uncle Ben kind of saying, like, you know, I'm okay to if I die tomorrow. Are you gonna be okay with that? You still have kind of a big chunk of your life left to live with your kids that you want to see them grow up and then eventually get married. Like,
well, that's kind of what I alluded to in the recap was that Uncle Ben, I think, has nothing left to lose, and he's at the point in his life where he can be at that point in his life and be comfortable leaving it behind. But Peter is like in his 30s, he has a family.
Yeah.
And I think the entire first year of this book has been Peter kind of learning to live with the consequences of Spider-Man. Maybe not in the same like direct way as like Amazing Fantasy Peter from 616, but in a more abstract sense of you know, this is the world that Peter is becoming Spider-Man in, and it's a very cruel one, even if he doesn't realize much more than the surface level. And with Ultimates as a companion piece, I know I kind of bring up Ultimates all the time in this show, but it's very important as a companion piece to understand the world that Peter is fighting in. And I think that Uncle Ben, with that file that Harry gave him last issue, is more aware of it than Peter is, and is like, listen, kid, if you're not ready to go all in on this, you need to back out like right now.
Yeah. I also, in my brain with that scene, also often think about, like, you look at like the Greatest Generation and how often you would see when a spouse passes away, the other would pass away not too long after. And it's, you know, partly because they're just so brokenhearted and they don't know how to function. I mean, these people were together, and I'm going in with my brain. I'm assuming that May and Ben were together for 40, 50 years. And, you know, Ben is trying to move on, and especially to lose May, you know, so suddenly, and it wasn't, you know, like with an illness or anything like that. It was a
terrorist attack.
Yeah.
Let's call it what it is. It was essentially the equivalent of a 9/11.
Yeah, without going into the jokes. But yeah, it's that universe's, you know, seminal moment, right, where everything changed. And so I think it's a very realistic scene in how Ben would react to it being just a year later, not, you know, and having to come to grips with fighting the system that may or may not have created the very situation that caused his wife to die. And, you know, it also kind of gives the perspective. I think both him and Jonah have that mindset of, we don't have anything to lose. Whereas this also gives a set of stakes.
Yeah.
That
also does Harry have anything to live for? Because I'm wondering if the drive that Harry gave, unless it's like his dad's AI, that's the only thing he's got to live for now at this point.
I think if Gwen turns out to be evil, and like that was kind of his last, like that might be his tipping point. He goes full on like constant.
I'm all in on the evil shit.
Yeah, that's kind of he's like, yeah, I got nothing else to live for, and just goes not so mode.
And Zach, you kind of brought up a good point about, like, you know, spouses moving on, and the part where Uncle Ben talks about like, he gets up and has his coffee and then asks himself if today is the day he's going to go through Aunt May's things and see what's what. Not to get too personal, but like, on the outside, I've kind of seen something similar with my grandfather, where I don't like to make much of a mess about it, but my grandmother died this past September, and even though I can't read his mind, my grandfather, it's I don't want to say writing on the wall, but it's very obvious to see that someone who's been with his spouse for 50 plus years.
Yeah.
It's easy to tell that they're kind of going through it and trying to figure out how to move on. And like I said, that's probably part of why Uncle Ben feels like he has nothing left to lose. Like, we've joked about him and Jonah having a borderline, semi-erotic relationship.
And I think it's not even that. It's more of the fact that he has him to get through this. Like, he has a support system that is there that's helping him day by day to like get out of bed and do something more and not just waste away. So he has people that care about him.
And he has a mission to fight the kingpin, but take on the establishment and unveil the truth. And I'd be honest, if I'm willing to bet that Uncle Ben figured out who fired the Stark Stain satellite that killed Aunt May, going off of the drive that Harry gave him. That's very, I don't know what's on the drive, but it's very likely that info was on there.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if that made Uncle Ben, I don't want to say radicalized Uncle Ben, but it gave him something like, I'm fucking done. I've got nothing. That's the I've got nothing left to lose motivator for him.
Yeah.
Is knowing who killed his wife and what he wants to do about it.
So do you think that the drive that Harry gave him is part of the reason why Harry's like MIA is because of stuff that might have been on there?
I don't know. I just kind of made the assumption that Harry was off doing like his own mission and didn't tell anybody. But there's nothing there. There's nothing concrete aside from like Harry telling Peter to get in the Hummer EV that gives me a real hint. Like I said, I think it's mostly him just running off and doing his own thing. But I can't say for certain.
For me, the Ben scene, you talk about like not being able to go through the things. When my daughter first moved down here, I didn't touch her room for a year just because it was too hard to walk in there and realize that it was going to be a long time before I got to have her at my house back home, back where I was from. And so I get like that one hit me in a way that I when a comic moves me, it doesn't happen as often as it used to, but this one was like, oh yeah, I felt that in my bones. I love the MJ scene. I think we've mentioned that too. Yeah, Peter having to blow off getting laid to go be with his uncle. There it is a bit of a like, to me it is a semblance of Peter's character though, because it's like I have to go be responsible. I can't not be irresponsible. I could bang my wife and have the evening with her, or I can go be responsible and be with the guy that helped raise me.
Well, and everyone, and in a weird way, it kind of parallels Felicia. I don't think as explicitly, but like in the scene where Walter goes, "Hey, here's my daughter in this weird cat suit and domino mask that very clearly does not hide her identity at all." She looks very visibly uncomfortable, but because it's part of her family legacy, she's stepping up to fit in those shoes.
Yeah. I kind of looked at it as that she's afraid of the men that's in there.
I don't think those are mutually exclusive, though. Like these are very powerful men who have taken very drastic measures to keep their slice of the world. And Felicia, I don't want to say certainly, but it's very likely that Felicia knows the room that she's in and the pressure of her family's legacy, especially since her mother died and she knows about her dad's criminal activities.
Yeah. It makes you wonder how long she knew before getting directly involved in this.
I mean, she could have been a kid and it's been around her too. And, because it doesn't seem like they've been hiding jack shit, like, at all.
Yeah, this honestly looks like Walter just gave her the suit and be like, I need to stay in this group. You're doing this for me. Here's the sword mask and black latex costume. Have at her.
Get in the cat suit.
Yeah.
Oh wait, he was saying for you to smile, Josh. You look like he says you look like you're pissed off.
No.
And then he says thanks. And then he says thanks, Josh.
He's never mad. He's Canadian.
Sorry.
I don't think that's pissed off. I think that's just polite.
Yeah, he's like nice pool.
The proposal. I'm not gonna.
Hang on.
I understood that reference.
There you go.
We're changing your soundboard.
No, we're not. Don't touch my soundboard.
Okay.
Do it.
Let's talk about the art a little bit. I know we kind of laughed at like, hey, here's this very clear reuse of a frame from Spider-Man 2. Like I said, I'm glad Messina got to do some more dynamic artwork, but like there's some rough panels.
Oh yeah. Overall, I think the art is this issue would be an A+ if Kiketo did the art.
This would be an A++ for me. Broadly speaking, it's an A+ already, but I think with Pchajek on art, it would be an even bigger A+.
I think I like Messina doing. I do like that he got to flex his action chops a bit.
Oh, I thought you said he got to flex Peter's ass.
Well, I mean,
he kind of did.
But I don't know. Like, it's funny because ultimately it still was kind of just like a talking issue. So
aside from like the one action scene,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But and I mean that was fine, but I don't know. I mean, I like it well enough, but I think I almost feel like you maybe needed Kiketo for this one because there was a lot of big emotional moments and just big character moments in this, and I think maybe his art would have suited it better.
I know that they can't afford more than one good artist for a book at any given time over at Marvel, but I would, Pepe Larraz, who just came off of Blood Hunt, the big event comic, I think it'd be a great companion for Pchajek as far as interiors. He's a very flexible artist. He's drawn Spider-Man before, even if it's like as a guest appearance in someone else's book. But Messina's good on a technical level. He's Diet Pchajek, and I guess for what he needs to do, he performs.
I didn't like though how I was into how he was drawing Spider-Man in like the first few pages, but then by the end of that, by the end of the like angry mob fight, I'm kind of like it's so like the way he's doing the mask is so inconsistent. I'm like, what's going on here?
Yeah,
like,
it looks like he's taking reference from I'm just going off of reference. Michael Cho, Marcos Martin. Like, there's a bunch of different references. Like, even looks like he's got he's taking reference from like the 80s cartoon in some pages. The mask itself does feel very inconsistent.
I just don't like the one eyes in this page. I don't know what page that is. He has the wonky eye when he's next to the Susan lady. I don't know her name, but I'm calling her Susan.
Bank Karen.
Yeah, Bank Karen. Don't really care for her at all. Something about Susan bothers me.
It feels like he took a real life reference.
Yeah, I mean, versus like the other like characters and stuff, like her specifically, I don't know why. I just don't like the draw on it. But yeah, he has the one wonky eye in these. Like, and I don't know why.
Well, a lot of people do like to make the eyes expressive, even though I don't really like that because they're supposed to not they should, in my opinion, they shouldn't move. But
it worked with Chichetto because his style is so fluid that like it works within his style. But
I mean, I can see the expression like that. I've seen that in other stuff. The only thing I just don't like it because, like, even looking at these other ones, it's not expressive to me. It looks wonky. Like, it just like, and it's just that one eye. Like,
it looks like a lazy eye.
It does. Like, one is just like darker. Like, I don't.
It looks like the Joker from the new Suicide Squad game.
I think the problem with the expressive eyes that we have here is that when the eyes are already naturally squinty, which Chichetto's are, as opposed to like Mike Ringo, for example. He used to have the big bug eyes, and he made them very expressive that way. So when you have these big wide eyes, you can kind of differentiate, make it to where they move. The one thing I think that the MCU got right with the Stark suit was the expressive eyes, where he could kind of, emote that way.
Unnecessary in my opinion, but
what might be the weird thing about Messina is that we know Chichetto did concept sketches and reference pages for like all the main characters.
Yeah.
And I think for not the inner demons, but like Susan, we'll call her now because Ashley's made it stick. It looks like he drew her from a real life reference, and that's the weird part, is that like it looks like he drew someone like off of a Pose reference. Especially with like the page where she's telling him off and like, why don't you shut up? You're gonna get everyone killed. Like that looks like he took it from like an actual reference and not from like Chichetto's.
It kind of reminds me of Melissa McCarthy a little bit.
I mean, but my point broadly here is that it looks like Messina alternates between references, and when he has them provided to him by like Chichetto, they look more fluid, I guess the way to put it. Like they feel like it's more of him freehanding, but when he's using like an actual like reference for like a reference off of like Pinterest or something, which like I don't shame him for that. Like I use reference all the time for my stuff, but it looks like he like drew over it, and then like instead of like just using it as a reference for the panel layout, it looks like he drew straight over it. And like I don't want to accuse him of cheating because like this is nowhere near as bad as like Greg Land or Salvador LaRocca.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it kind of has that vibe of like the stuff that looks like he drew it freehand looks much more clean and fluid, but the stuff that he referenced looks much more mechanical.
Right. It sticks out more.
His darker shadow work is much better though. Like in the scene at night in the Parker apartment, it looks much more. The shadows look much more natural, and I think part of it is because Matt Wilson finally got his shit together as far as like matching the tone matching the tone of the lighting to Messina's shadows or his inks.
Mm.
I honestly didn't really have much of a problem with the art at all. The only thing I don't like is MJ's old lady hands.
She's old lady hands?
Well, yeah, like where you're like where you are able to bend your fingers, he like draws that on, which just makes the hands look so much older.
On whose hands?
Bend your fingers. I have to look.
Like, yeah, no, I see that. That is odd. It's like squiggly lines for whatever reason.
Let me see.
Especially like as detailed as like her lips are and stuff.
I know she got some like the one panel I really like. She has a super like seductive face in it, and I like it.
Which one is that?
I know which one it is. It's where she says thank you.
Thank you. It is. That's like the best one.
She's like,
Radiac brought this up. I do want to address Radiac's point about Mr. Negative letting Peter go scot-free. I think Mr. Negative there wasn't necessarily testing Peter. Like it sounds like lame to say like, oh, I meant for this to happen. I was testing him all along, like a Keikaku anime villain, who was like, I planned for this to happen all along. I think the idea was that like, he almost lost all of his guys, so he chose to like cut his losses and run. rather than let Peter overtake the crowd and then come after him.
Yeah, I think that this version of Negative doesn't like getting his hands dirty. And I think that it kind of showed in how he responded here, is that like he doesn't want to get his hands dirty, so he's going to just bolt. Whereas like 616 is not afraid to get his hands dirty. You know, even like the Insomniac version, not afraid to get his hands dirty, but like this one kind of a little more Cowardly Lion.
Well, and his friend of the show, Jess, says that even though Mole Man addresses, like, why didn't you use your powers on him? Like you said, I don't think he's willing to get his hands dirty. But also, I think he recognized, like, oh, this guy's going to overcome my power in, like, a minute. This isn't going to be, it's not going to be worth it. I might as well use everything else around him, take care of him, and I'll get my guys. I'm not going to lose anything.
Yeah.
I'm going to get the hell out of there.
Like, Game recognizes Game, and he was like, no, this is like a zero-sum game for me.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I do actually like the way Kingpin or Messina draws Kingpin.
I do too.
I think Messina's more blocky art style works better with King, not necessarily better than Chichetto for Kingpin, but it's definitely one of the better characters he works with.
I just love how menacing he is in this issue, and like where
I do like that he's like, okay, you're gonna stop fucking around with this guy. You're gonna finish him.
No spider splat, no hover chair.
Because of my weight.
You think that just because I'm a large individual that I am fat?
Because of my weight.
I am full of muscle.
Because of my weight.
I do kind of hate that the cover has nothing to do with
let's
this.
talk, that's one of my big. I'm not gonna take points off because it's comics. It's a Marvel comic misleading us.
But this is pretty egregious.
Next.
This is pretty egregious for this series.
We were really excited to see what was going to happen here, and she appears in one effing panel.
Yeah.
One.
No, two. Well, they show the back of her head in another one.
Did they?
Kamala Khan in ASM again in this economy.
Have we learned nothing, Marvel?
I mean, they could have what could they have done? They could have put Mr. Negative on this cover, or
you know what would have been really cool is if they had Mr. Negative with Peter on the ground and Mr. Negative stabbing him in the shoulder with the sword. That would have been awesome.
Yeah, that would have been cool. That wouldn't have really happened in the book either, but it's more thematically,
or it at least tells the viewer what's going on.
Yeah, but I feel like that was one of those things where they thought, oh, if we put Black Cat on the front of this, everybody's gonna buy it, thinking she's a big part of it because they're
Awooga, hot girl on the cover. Buy the book.
Yeah, especially with them cheeks out. Yeah, they knew.
Hey, look, it's Elektra again. Why does Chichetto draw every woman like Elektra?
Well, of course, I'm just thinking of Bill Jamis making his comment about Elektra. That you remember that Elektra comic from 2002?
No.
So
Jennifer Garner.
That's old. So. No.
It was very cheesecake. Let's just put it that way. Josh, you're about to have to leave, my friend. So give us, you've kind of peppered in your thoughts, but kind of just wrap up your what you're thinking here.
I know specifically with this book, there's a lot of discourse online of oh, why this was supposed to be the marriage, the book, and there's not enough of that. And then some people are saying, well, that's the only thing in this book, and there's a lot going on in this book.
Bless you.
That being said, I think we're coming up to issue 12 now. This has been a year, and kind of this whole plot of this ongoing thing, like Neil was saying, how this first year is Peter really being okay, I gotta learn how to do all of this now.
And I gotta commit to the bit. Otherwise, there's no. It's a do or die situation. There is no turning back from here.
And I think as we're on the tail end of it, it's really starting to hit home on that. And I've really appreciated kind of the longer arc in this. And I do love the world building it is setting up. I do see this as kind of a ongoing, like the original Ultimate Universe was. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to the final issue of the kind of first 12, and then year 2 as well.
So Walter did leave a voicemail for not only Neil but also Josh.
For
Jesus
me,
Christ, how horrifying!
So terrifying.
So I have spliced them together,
Oh gosh.
and
I'm the Joker, baby.
here we go.
Hello, Neil. Is your local favorite Joker sounding Walter? I got plans for you, Neil.
Oh no.
Your joiner and Ashley are very aware of. So look forward to December.
Am I gonna find a pipe bomb in the mail?
Accepted.
That's the vibe I get.
Looks so lovely. To you, princess.
Is that to you, Zach? Or
No, that was to me.
For Neil. How do you cover your giblets in certain costumes?
What the fuck?
Next month.
why do we do this to ourselves?
Oh, golly.
Oh, Neil's face right
And it will be
now.
a mask. No ball gag.
He's so afraid.
I'm afraid for him.
I'm not opening any packages for the next month.
And we killed Zach. Okay, cool.
Oh my god.
wow.
Oh, no.
Josh, if you see any pipe bombs in your mail, let me know, okay?
Yeah, we'll do.
His face came out.
It said, "What's your favorite scary?"
Walter the movie.
Oh no.
Oh my.
On that note, anybody else have anything else to add, or?
All right, so any final
I'm
thoughts
going-
on this episode? Because we're a little over an hour in.
I'm
Adam,
going into witness protection. This is some sideshow Bob shit. Oh my
Bye,
god.
Josh.
bye, Josh.
Bye, everyone. Thanks
Bye,
again.
Josh.
Bye.
See you,
Have a
buddy.
good night.
I do want to say I liked that this issue. I feel like this issue was great because I feel like a lot of our complaints were
Minute.
addressed.
Yeah, all of them were kind of either addressed or the scratches were itched or the itches were
Yeah.
scratched.
Like I really liked seeing Peter fight crime on his own without Harry dragging him down.
Yeah, or causing
And,
more shit too.
Yeah, and I liked. I mean the Uncle Ben Peter conversation is great. The Mary Jane Peter conversation is great. It's all stuff that needs to be put out there, and I don't know. That's why this issue was so good. Is that like we're getting some good character stuff here that we've been kind of waiting for.
You'll forgive me for comparing it to Ultimates again. This felt like an Ultimates issue where it felt like very one and done, and like the highlighting of an idea or an individual struggle of a character. A lot of this felt like an Ultimates issue where it uses the one and done format a lot better than the book traditionally has, where Hickman kind of tries to have his cake and eat it.
It was a very
With,
well-paced issue.
I agree.
It was split up pretty well. The like 3 or so plot points.
It wasn't too much thrown in, and it was like,
enough.
yeah, it was just enough. It wasn't like every other page something different. They completely wrapped on whatever they were doing, and I love that about this too.
Yeah, we go from Spidey action to a Mary Jane conversation that we were hoping for to a nice Uncle Ben scene, and then some
underworld shit.
Yeah, some villain plotting, and it's like, okay, cool.
And
Yeah,
it was
of page
like
space.
And it was like perfectly done from how basically his day went. So like that's like a typical like day for him right now is he's fighting crime. He goes home to his wife after he got his ass beat. And then, you know, he's like, oh shit, I have other things I need to do. So
I have other obligations.
And
right.
there's some things I want to do.
It's very much like classic Spidey.
I think the thing that we've kind of been a little frustrated by is there's been some issues where it's like basically one scene and that encapsulates what happened in the month, where it feels like this issue was truly a day in the life of the new Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and Jess also points out that Ben is such a different parent figure than Aunt May. He's a very blunt and direct father figure while also being understanding.
I do like that he's basically, his mindset seems to be, as we were talking about, you know, he's basically he's lived his life and he doesn't have anything to lose, but he knows that Peter will be okay, but he still is like, you know, Peter, you have to think
careful.
about you have to be careful and you have to think about your family, and I think that is what's so great about this Peter is that you know, he has something to live for and he has something to fight for.
And I think this is going to tie into, you know, the Maker coming out of his mushroom city. He's going to be like, okay, here's me and my big dick swinging out. Who's ready to get punished?
The Maker comes out of the Mushroom Kingdom to find Mario.
And he's like, what the fuck happened while I was gone? Like he sees like Wolverines out running around like in the middle of the Soviet or in the middle of the Russian winter. He's like killing people. The Ultimates are like committing domestic terror attacks. There's a bunch of like schoolgirls causing shit in Japan, and then there's like a guy in a fursuit running around breaking shit in South Africa, and he's like, what the fuck happened while I was gone? You guys bombed New York? What the fuck, guys? He's like dragging along Howard Stark's corpse. He's like, I had a plan. You guys can't do this. What happened? And they're all like, hail our great Maker. And he's like, no, shut the fuck up. I'm not done yet.
Everything's ruined.
Why is Nick Fury white again? I made him Samuel L. Jackson.
This isn't how this was supposed to go.
Where's Howard the Duck?
Where is Howard the Duck?
Yeah, where is he?
He's in prison. He got imprisoned by Classic Fury.
Oh shit!
Because he's an agent of Hand.
Wait, White Fury?
Yeah.
Oh,
White Fury.
For the 1 year in one shot. It focuses on Classic Fury.
I got you.
And like one of the pages has him with like Omega 3 or something. Like he and Howard the Duck are being arrested, and it's implied that Nick Fury is the one who carried out most of the Maker's orders.
I mean, that kind of checks, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it's funny that like, why didn't you guys just go, like Maker's just like, why didn't you guys go to Fury? He could have taken care. You guys didn't have to like ruin everything while I was gone.
Well, you know.
What do you guys think Maker's gonna do when he leaves the city? Gosh, I'm just such a chill guy. Me when I leave my city and the world is in ruins, but I'm just a chill guy who wants to bring order.
Yeah, I don't know, actually. It will be interesting when that does happen, and I wonder how far into this like series it'll be before he shows up.
Well, I mean, we've got after next month, because next month is issue 12. So we've got about a year until he comes out of the dome. because it was a countdown from 2 years since Ultimate Universe or Ultimate Spider-Man #1. So,
you don't think they're gonna just switch that up in this? Or
no,
maybe are
because,
they gonna stay on par?
well, the city is explicitly locked down for 2 years, and like the council's all tried to break through, but it's like sealed for 2 years. So I'm thinking that there's a reason like this, the timer is counting down to 2 years. Otherwise, they've been lying to us.
Is that what you think too, Adam? I see you nodding over there.
Maybe. I do wonder if maybe next year the monthly format, each issue is a month, will change, because it seems like we're going to be dealing with Kraven for a couple months at least.
Unless Peter and Harry are just running around in the woods for 2 months, then
if Harry comes back in the next couple issues, I'm sure he will, but what if he just goes MIA for a minute and then comes back and it's his villain arc?
That's true. But like Ultimates just recently killed off Iron Lad, so there's a good chance that Kang storyline is going to be accelerated. Because I don't know if you guys are reading Ultimates or read Ultimate. You guys read Ultimate Invasion, I think. I
read Invasion, but I don't think they've read.
But like the implication of that arc was that because Howard took off Kang's mask, he like looked fucking disappointed or like despondent. I'm pretty sure the implication was that it was Tony, especially because Iron Lad is the character that leads into Kang.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so because Iron Lad is dead as of issue 6, after they tried to fight the Hulk, I think the implication is that Doom is going to resuscitate Iron Lad as Kang using the Immortus engine, and that plot line is going to accelerate. I'm not sure, and that might be what tosses everything into chaos as far as the monthly format. I don't know.
We shall see.
I'm just looking forward to that Luke Cage issue.
No, I am not putting the suit on my wall. I have no room for it. Shut up, Walter.
You should do the thing. You should do a picture. You should take a picture of yourself like the Spider-Man 2 bit where he's like, he was a hero.
Yeah.
I just couldn't see it.
Yeah.
That's what Walter wants me to do.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
You should.
I think you should. It'll be really funny. You could get some ha-has on Twitter for that.
Okay,
Not
so
the
then
suit.
set a challenge goal then.
Not the suit, the other thing. What the other thing?
Oh, the
pipe bomb?
God.
The wig?
Yeah,
no, that vinyl or that decal thing.
Yeah. It's actually on my wall. The
Oh, see, I have a big brain. I remember.
Where is it?
Yeah, it's up there. You guys see it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
why'd you put it like in the corner?
Yeah.
I love that it's froze right now.
he's upsetty spaghetti.
Damn it.
Snap. I was gonna say,
bye.
do your fingers
Nope, you're still
snap.
frozen.
Settings. What did I do?
Did you unplug the camera?
No, I
Check.
all right.
Anyways, some updates for the channel. We're trying
Neil,
to figure
get
out
to
how
work on graphics. Get to work on graphics, Neil.
Get to it, monkey. Chop chop.
Yes.
We do have some gameplay planned. Marvel Rivals releases December 6th for Steam. We're going to try and get some footage planned for that game, either on the YouTube channel or on Twitch. Probably here. Spider-Man 2 from Insomniac comes out on PC on the 30th of January. We're going to get some footage of that on the channel. We're going to try and figure out another model other than
now I can see it because the mic isn't blocking it.
There you go. But yeah, it's right there. Yeah, so between that, we just released the last of the MTV Man episode today, actually. The last 2 episodes of the 2-part finale of MTV Man. And so we're gonna have to get together and do the first of the on Spider-Man Unlimited. So I think we got to do that and get together for that. And is there any commentaries that you want to us to talk about, or other media stuff? So
we do need to do another Books of X. I've been wanting to do a Books of X for a while, so I just need to get a team together to do it.
Walter, no.
Walter, what is with
why is people such with cosplays?
I mean,
is this your thing? I don't mind, but
I'm
I
not
don't
gonna
want to do it.
shame, but anyway. So all right,
okay. Well, you said it, not me. So
I can't.
Anyways,
I'm the host.
Read the patrons.
All right, so let's wrap up this episode of the Spideydude Experience. Thank you guys for watching. If you're watching us live, if you've been listening to us after the fact on the audio edition, thank you guys as well. So, we've got our friends over at patreon.com/Spideydude Network. We got Allison, Cindy, Ed, Eric, Georgia, Greg, Janelle, Jessica, Joyce, Catherine, Kale, Laura Howard, Lump Moose, Master Drama, Phoenician, RJ, Vanessa, and Vicky. Thank you guys for your support. We've also got Sarah and Tara as our spectacular patrons, and then our VIPs, Scott Vinkman and that crazy old man, Walter. Thank you guys for your support on the Patreon page. If you have not already checked out our other fine shows on the channel, like Voices from the Eyrie, where you get the video edition of the show, on the Patreon, you also get the exclusive Books of X podcast, where me and Neil talk about the Krakoan era of X-Men. We have coming soon, we're going to be doing a new slot symposium. And if you haven't already checked out our Vault series of ASM classics with Clone Saga Chronicles and Spectacular Radio, certainly go do that. Also, the Sabi Sima era podcast just covered the 3 issues leading up to the seminal Spectacular Spider-Man number 200. So some really good stuff coming down the pike on that. And so if you have not already followed us on the social medias, find us over on Twitter /X at Spideydude Radio. We have Facebook, Instagram, Threads at Spideydude Network. We also have the new official Instagram is at Spideydude Official. And of course, you can, if you have not already followed us on the YouTube channel, if you have not liked, shared, and subscribed, why haven't you done so already? Go find us over at youtube.com/Spideydude Network. And finally, if you want to pull a Walter and leave us a voicemail during or before or after the show, you can always leave us a voicemail at 818-925-6631. You can also leave us emails at SpideyDudeRadioNetwork@gmail.com. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching. And we'll see you next time here on the Spideydude Experience.
Bye, guys.
Bye.